But because it is quite a tight shot, the machete looks fake. So he said, hey, okay, just give him a real one. So I was sweating, and both of them were sweating as well.
Welcome to the Stories We Tell Ourselves, a podcast created and hosted by Adrian Lai and Carlson Hugh. Join us in discovering the stories behind our thoughts, actions, and identities as we try to answer not just the whats and hows, but most importantly, the whys in life.
Hello, welcome to today's show. In today's episode, we'll be talking to Hong, a passionate action film choreographer right here in Malaysia. We talk about how to sell a punch and that moment where Hong swung a real machete at Hong Kong superstar Aaron Kwok.
Welcome to the Stories We Tell Ourselves podcast. My name is Adrian.
Hi, I'm Carlson.
And today we have a really good friend of mine for a long time. He has been my Kung Fu movie choreographer. So we go way back, man. Even before we first collaborated, we have already known each other for a couple of years. His name is Hong. And in the movie industry, I guess they call him Chee Hong. Welcome, Hong.
Welcome, Hong.
Hi, hello everybody.
And today we are on a roll, so we are recording Hong, who is in the midst of renovating his house, and he took some time off to come and talk to us about the pain list.
The pain list, the pain list.
So I don't know. Okay, we're all over the place already, but let's gather ourselves. So, because we have so much history, right, Hong and I actually found it really difficult in thinking about this episode, right? Where do we start? Where do we begin? So maybe I'll hand it over to Carlson, and he'll give us some much needed leadership.
Okay. So Hong, I know you as Adrian's friend.
Yep.
That's it. So besides that, I also know you that you also do martial arts. You are a fitness
enthusiast.
That's a very mild word.
Yeah. So if you
we have to talk about Phuket at some point, yeah.
if you do see him, I mean, it's probably gonna like all podcasts, we're gonna include a picture. But he looks from a distance.
I know what's coming, man.
With his physique, his lean physique, and
the way he walks,
the way he
looks at things.
Yeah, so it's he looks intimidating lah to a certain extent.
Sure, no.
But however,
but the real guy is really far from that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly,
he's
right.
So nice guy,
when we talk to him and so on, it's very insightful. It's just nice to talk to lah. So that's Hong. Let's start off with probably actually what do you do? I mean, as far as I know from Adrian, that you talk a lot about martial arts, talk about choreography, but you do hold a daytime job as well, right?
Yes,
so,
I do.
Yeah. So what do you do? I mean, who is Hong?
Oh, okay. Daytime job, I work as a project architect in a small little firm. That is my bread and butter lah. So I graduate from Lim Kok Wing doing architecture. So therefore after I graduate, I work in an architecture firm lah. So this action and stunting is just my side passion kind of project, just to keep my life in balance lah.
just to give you all of you some perspective, right, on when Hong says his day job versus his passion, right? He's the kind of day jobber where he would invite me to a site that he works on because, right, before they break it down and rebuild it, there is a potential for us to shoot a film. And then he'll go to his client, right, bring me to the client, right, and we'll not talk about anything about his day job in rebuilding, but we'll ask the owner of the premise, like, hey, can we shoot a film? Because we make Kung Fu films and we want to do this here and it looks cool, when it's all like in ruins, and then before we break it down, we spend one weekend come here and shoot can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious, where did this passion started?
Passion started, I think, back in 2008 lah. I'm always
How old were you then, if I may ask?
wow, what was that? Sorry,
How old were you then?
2008 lah. I think I'm in my late 30s lah.
Okay.
No lah, late 20s. 30.
Mid 30s lah.
Mid,
Oh, so you already had a job at the time. Then,
Yeah, always.
So it's not something which, like, when you were young, you already had this passion of, of stunt, choreography, martial arts.
No. I mean, that came about in my final year during my uni year.
I see.
That I was, because I was still practicing karate. So martial art has been always my passion all the while lah. I mean, I started karate since I was high school, form 4, and then as I go down the road, then I try other martial arts. I tried wushu, and then there's during my final year of my project in Lim Kok Wing that time, there's a friend of mine. Also, she's also in karate, so she got a connection that this stunt director is looking for talent lah for one movie. They want to reshoot the action film.
Okay.
So she brought me there. It was Joanne Lee, your popcorn. Joanne Lee, yeah. She was in karate with me. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So
shout out to Joanne. Yeah.
Shout out to Joanne, man. I know you're listening because you guys subscribed.
So we went. I went for the so-called audition. Actually, not really audition. Just see whether I can move, because Malaysia that time, that was during early 2000. I think 2001 to 2002, that kind of thing. So there's not much of talent. It's quite hard to source. So I went. I met the stunt director. So asked me to trial certain things, this and that, and then straight away he just took me in. I mean, okay, that's this film they need to reshoot, so they need some help lah. These stunt guys.
What's the name of the movie?
It's called Mendam Berahi from Metro Wealth.
Oh yo!
It's a horrible film. It's like a Malaysian version. It's a Malaysia version of Charlie's Angel.
I see.
Yeah, it was a flop lah at the end of the day. Okay. I actually went and watched the film with the other friend, my Chee Hong. When we went there, in the hall, right? It's a night screening lah. It's only like 4 hours. We were just.
But this was when it was open, like closer to when it opened, or closer like maybe a week or so later?
Somewhere in the middle that kind of thing. Like, just want to like,
so like
for the heck of it, like, just see
the friend, the director friend all done already lah, all watch already lah. This one is like real legit people who paid money to come and watch on lah, right?
I think my friend, when he bought the ticket at the counter, he said, Menam Berahi 2 ticket. I think the counter flirt, he asked, sure ah.
Okay. What exactly did you do in terms of the stunt?
Okay, we do everything lah. I mean, from fighting, from rigging, wire rigging, and some car stunts. But my involvement mostly on fights
Okay.
Fights. So,
like hand
like
to
a
hand.
thug, right?
Yeah, hand to hand combat kind
Okay.
of thing lah. More of the fight guy lah, you call it. So many choreography, and then you teach the actress how to fight, and how to react and all that, and then you choreograph the scene, and then you coordinate with your camera guy and stuff like that. So that is of it lah. If you come back to that project, Mendam Berahi, we didn't even finish the action.
Oh, okay. What was it?
It was supposed to reshoot the action for the whole film, because the whole film, the action was crap.
I see.
So you hire this action director in to come in to take over to reshoot the action. I went for 1 day of shoot only,
Okay.
and then the next day they pull out because the money didn't come in.
Right.
Yeah. So the reshoot also is half. Not even half. I would say it's like maybe 20%. It's horrible. There's a lot of stock footage,
I see.
and the scene that we are involved is only like 2 small scenes only. That also they quick cut it very quickly, because we didn't manage to finish shooting that fight scene also. There's 2 fight scenes, one in jungle, one in like interior of a ship, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So they didn't even finish because they didn't agree the money that the stunt director asked for lah. So halfway they just pull out the whole team lah.
Like,
so it's
forget this shit.
I mean that's the Malaysia horror story on filming lah.
For those of you who are not familiar or not privy to this information, that is a very common thing that happens in the Malaysian film industry.
That's right. That's
I
right.
see.
So,
Actually, very hard to get big jobs during that time.
What is big jobs?
But-
Big job, you're talking about feature film.
Okay.
yeah, like
That
feature
kind of
film
thing.
as in movies, like,
Yeah,
you know,
movies,
like
yeah.
that released in theater kind of movies. In fact, that brings me to one of the things that I made a mental note, you know, that I have to bring this up because this is probably one of the most fascinating things about Hong's stunt career, right? Is that he almost used a real machete, right, to chop up Aaron Kwok, you know.
Huh.
I tell you, the Aaron Kwok, you know, we're talking about the Aaron Kwok, right?
let's-
Come to Malaysia, and then, right, our friend here almost chopped the shit out of him, you know, with a real machete, machete, you know.
Let's hear him talk.
Yes.
So I jump straight to the part.
Jump straight, man.
So
Okay. There's this feature film. I think it's called Detective. I think Aaron Kwok is directed by one of the Pang brothers. It's a detective thriller kind of story. I think it's don't know part 2 or part 3. I can't remember. Like, it was shot in Malaysia and partly Thailand. So that time I was under another action director, Stunt Guy. Okay, under this guy called what's that? Kenny Wong. Yeah. So he got me in. I supposed to double Nick Cheung. He was also one of the lead. So
Right.
there's 2. So on day 1 I was on board. I doubled him for 1 day shoot. But then the director after he see me said I'm too big to double as him.
You mean you're bigger than?
Yeah, Nick Cheung is actually very very thin. That time was very thin.
Holy moly,
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
That's
So-
before he bulked up for that other movie.
That was
right?
way later. He bulked up
yeah,
for
yeah.
the Unbeatable
Yeah.
movie lah, the MMA movie. So after that, okay lah. Then I just my action director just say, okay lah, you hold on. There's some other scenes lah that need some tucks and all that. So I come in for that day. So there's this alley scene where Aaron Kwok and Nick Cheung, there's some argument between them, then they got little scuffle between them, and then a bunch of thugs come in and want to slash them lah. So it's a back alley somewhere in Petaling Street. So we came in. So the first shot, because they were quarreling, they were actually like struggling. They were pin each other on the wall, that kind of thing. So I'm the first attacker with a machete. So because they were pinned on the wall, I come in and then I will slice any of them lah. So that they avoided. That's when it breaks apart lah. But the
as in
director,
like you're talking about the scene.
The
right?
scene, I'm
As in
talking
like
about the
the
scene.
two of them are together.
Yeah,
and
together.
then the thugs come in.
Yeah, I
and
come
then
in,
because of
I-
the action. The two characters have to split.
yeah, to split or avoid
terms
my
of-
machete. So
Yes,
that's the
yes,
scene
yes.
that I so-called slice them lah.
Okay. But you were not doubling Nick Cheung in that scene, right?
No, I'm not doubling.
So it was not just Aaron Kwok, it was also
Yeah,
Nick Cheung that
Nick Cheung.
you slice up lah.
yeah, slice up.
Yeah. 2 birds with 1 stone, baby.
So because the director wanted a more dramatic opening for that fight lah, so he wanted to do it in slow-mo, as in to feel the danger lah. Because both of them like eye to eye, then they turn around and look, a bunch of thugs coming in, and then the first thug come and slice in between them, but 2 of them are glued together so close. So they want that moment where they want to see the expression and then the attack, everything in slow-mo. So we tried it first with a fake machete, but because it is quite a tight shot, the machete looks fake. So you say, hey, okay, just give him a real one. So I was sweating and both of them were sweating as well.
I will see you all later.
So but actually there's a trick to it lah. Actually we didn't shoot in real speed. Actually there's shot in high speed. I forgot how many frames. So I move in slow-mo.
I see.
And everybody also react in slow-mo, like bullet time, like Matrix kind of thing.
Like fake slow-mo lah.
Yeah,
when
fake
young,
slow-mo,
you know, and then
yeah.
we're like, oh, everything slow-mo now. Like,
Correct.
you know.
That's how we do it lah. But even that also, I was also sweating, because it's a real thing.
It's like a
Yeah,
real
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
This machete is like the real, like the long. How long is this?
I think about 1.5 feet, that kind. About this long.
Yeah, lah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's parang lah. Then
Yeah.
chop trees one way.
Yeah. Really chop tree one.
Okay.
So we did that shot lah. So I think we did only like 3 takes lah. 3 takes lah. Because one, I was like a bit cautious about. Then there's a lot of gaps in between. Everybody's like afraid of the thing lah. So they move like a bit far away from the machete. But it came out, doesn't seem like the danger is there, that kind of thing. So we try another shot, right? Everybody is closer when it's like merely touching. I was actually merely touching Aaron Kwok's shirt, that kind of thing. You know, he was like avoiding. That's how he went lah.
The director is like, time for a little revenge.
I see.
So that's the scene. That is that scene lah. Yeah.
Is that one of your most memorable or more memorable jobs that you've done on the stunt?
Can say lah. I mean that I have in feature film, that I have the biggest how to say, close up and slow mo, and 2 big cars, that kind of thing.
The most featured lah, you know?
Okay. Because other international film, not international lah, other feature film that was shot here was because this is like Hong Kong collaboration, it's not a local film. So other non-local film was in Viral Factor lah, that one.
Okay, the Jay Chow, right?
Jay Chow. I was a security guard lah that time. I was.
What were you supposed to do? What scene?
I just got shot lah. But
no fighting involved that one.
No fighting.
Okay.
It's just a 1-day shoot only. I play as a security. Nick Cheung come into the facility. I
Nick Cheung?
scan him. Not Nick Cheung. Sorry. Nicholas Z.
Nicholas.
Jie Ting Fong.
Jie Ting Fong. Yeah. So I scan him. Then he passed over the security, and then something happened. He ran out. Then I was supposed to shoot them, but I got shot. So there's a wire gag on that lah. That particular shoot was the action director is Hong Kong. It's Chin Ka-lok. Chin Ka-lok.
It's quite a
it's a big timer lah.
Right.
Well, Some Hong's Tou Tai lah. He was in that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the international.
So all this while being a stunt person, on top of that, you also dabbling in being an action choreographer yourself, right? What films or what projects have you done in terms of really directing the action part?
For commercial film, my first gig was Apocalypse lah. It's a Mamat Khalid's film. It's
like a futuristic action adventure,
it's like
right?
a post-apocalyptic
almost like
film lah. But it's
fantasy,
it's like Crow Zero lah. You know, it's got a lot of clans, and they fight over resources. Each of them have leaders, and then there's conflicts and stuff like that. So that was my first gig lah. So I was given a free hand to choreograph everything lah, to design the fight scene. But that film also was how to say, also mismanaged in certain ways lah, in terms of funding. So it was lost in post for a couple of years because it's very CG heavy.
I see.
So they don't
basically
they run out of
funds to
do
manage the
CG.
post production lah.
Correct. So but also the sad thing is that there's a lot of fight scene, but most of these fight scene we don't have time to shoot. It's always very rushed.
Yeah.
It's always like you have like 2-3 hours to shoot.
They always underestimate how much time it takes to get a proper action scene done, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah. Plus, I don't get the chance to call the shots. Probably because I'm a newbie that time. So they lead to the DP or the director to call which angle to take and stuff like that. I think it's only one scene that Mama Kali let me like place the camera and stuff like that.
Okay.
I wasn't in charge of the editing. I wasn't on the. I just choreograph and they just fight, perform.
Basically, you give them a performance, and then they figure out how to capture it, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So
in Malaysia itself, is there like a place to learn action choreography, or it's like what I'm trying to say is that where do you learn this from?
Where do I learned it from my action director lah, and the very first action director. It's pretty basic stuff lah of how you take hits, how you body reaction, how you fall, and then what your timing, and then the rest is your own R&D lah, and how much you do.
Yeah, man.
Your practice, and
I can attest to how much R&D Hong does, right? He has a folder, right, of downloaded action scenes, right, from movies that even movies I've never heard of, famous movies and movies I've never heard of, right? And he would study the scenes, right, frame by frame.
Wow.
So I remembered, right, he asked me, hey, your iPad got any app that can do frame by frame video watching one?
Wow.
Say, you wanna check out the choreography, right? I say, so I was looking around, like whether are there Android apps? I mean, now you can do it, but back then it was rare. Back then he had to carry around a little netbook, right? He actually bought a little netbook. Like a small little laptop,
it's a HP.
So that he can actually go frame by frame because you can use
because that's the only
Windows Media Classic
player. That's the
you
only
can go frame by frame and check.
Yeah.
Okay, in this frame, and then they cut here. That's the detail that he goes through.
Not only that because that is very useful when you have your previous done, and then when you bring it on set, then you play back during shoot, where it cuts because sometimes when you shoot you can't remember all the whole choreography, right?
Yes.
You have to refer back, refer back what you have shot or what you have designed, then you go frame by frame. So,
another thing that people don't realize, right, is in terms of movie making, action scenes, right, especially like martial arts type of action scenes, right, they are shot in sequence. That means you shoot the shot that comes after the shot you just shot.
Okay.
Whereas in most of the rest of the movie, they're all shot out of order one, and then you edit back together.
Got it.
But for an action scene to work, right, it's more than likely. It's like 99.99% that you shoot it shot after shot. Where the whole crew basically aligns itself to the action. That's how important it is to get the action right.
Okay.
So I think if people break that rule, they always come out with something and they don't know why. It's because you can't do it that way. You can't do it any other way.
Correct.
So in terms of R&D wise, like what do you what do you consume?
Consume a lot of YouTubes.
YouTube is like the super treasure trove of choreography, right?
Yeah. I learned a lot actually from those independent action group.
Okay.
In YouTube. There's many in the world.
Can you name some?
Some of them. My first one that I encountered is called Zero Gravity.
Okay.
Zero Gravity was the first pioneer of indie guys, bunch of martial artists pick up a camera, shoot their own Jackie Chan stuff.
Okay.
And then they put it online. That time was before YouTube.
Wow.
So they upload in some don't know what website, and then
then they email the links around, right?
Something like that.
Share on Facebook.
Then after that, it's the Stunt People.
It's called the Stunt People.
Yeah, the Stunt People is by this guy called Eric Jacobus.
Jacobus, man.
So he started a Stunt People forum. So he created this community for all whoever who wants to try and do their own action film or action short film or whatever you call it, test fight, just action related stuff. So you can post it on there, and then the community will comment. Okay, that's the stage where I learned a lot. Reading people, seeing people, other teams does their work, and then seeing what people comment. So I started my YouTube channel, and then I posted my videos and stuff like that, and then they give me feedbacks and stuff like that.
Okay.
So from editing, from choreography, everything, people
sound effects.
Yeah, sound effect. The people also in the forum sharing sound effects lah. So it's a very healthy community that for starters. That's where you go. But these days it's that forum nobody active, because now you got Facebook, Instagram and all that kind of thing, right? So that forum is inactive anymore lah. Yeah. So I think everybody, because YouTube now is so available, it's so much reference.
Yeah.
So people just go ahead and just do it.
Just do it lah.
That time YouTube wasn't very active. That time, just very in the very beginning, 2007, late 2007, 2008. YouTube just starting. That time your videos are still in 360.
Yeah.
I think the most is 480.
Yeah.
Then we even have HD yet.
No HD
No
yet.
HD yet. Yeah. So that
And
time.
then cannot be more than 15 minutes long or something, right? Remember? Right?
Yeah,
early days it was
yeah,
like maximum 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, that time I started shooting a lot of short films with my guys. That time I started my little group of friends or martial artists, my karate friends lah. We do every weekend. We do a one fight scene. I just choreograph lah. I just draw my stick figure storyboard. I imagine the scene gonna be like that.
Okay.
Then I have a mini DV that run on cassette. Then I will shoot it. Then I will cut it in the weekend. I upload it on Sunday, and then people comment. And stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's where I learned. I learned how to edit because if you know how to edit, you know how to shoot an action scene because you know where the cut is.
I see.
Yeah, you know where the cut is. You know where the roughly where the placement angle is, and then that's my beginning of my R&D lah. How to
As you input, then you also output as well. Keep on trying.
Keep on doing. Yeah, basically it's just practice. Keep doing, and then when you do it, you know your mistakes, and then when you watch the action scene, you know, hey, this is something new here. Say any movie, say John Wick, okay, this is something new here. I can learn. This is how they do the cut here. I can learn next time. Stuff like that. You pick up. You pick up the film language as well. Along the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you just fine tuning slowly, and then the more you look at other people's stuff, then you will start to develop your own style, your own editing style, that kind of thing. Yeah. So
Okay. In your own, in any of your projects before, either as a stunt person or as an action director in that sense, were there any incidences where you were hurt or someone else were hurt, or like always, when you see the Jackie Chan, the end reel kind of thing and so on?
Fortunately, no lah.
Okay.
None. Minor bruise and here is quite common. No major.
The scariest one was Charlene.
Oh yeah.
that one.
Almost. It was
Yeah.
a short film we shot with James Lee. Charlene was our lead actress that time. She was fighting with Michael Chan.
Yeah.
Michael Chan was using a
Our friend Michael
kitchen
Chan.
knife.
Hey, what's up, Michael?
And the knife almost.
It was a real knife.
No, it's a rubber knife.
Rubber knife.
It's
Yeah.
a prop knife, but it's hard plastic.
I see.
So the tip of it, when Michael strike and Charlene block, it almost touches her eye.
Oh.
It scraped the side of the eyes.
Wow.
It's very close.
Yeah.
Very close. It was actually
So
quite
just to
scary.
give some context, right?
Very scary.
Michael is quite a big muscular guy, right?
Yeah.
And Charlene is a tiny girl, right? So the scene involved the two of them fighting as equals.
I see,
In a sense that she's like some super spy and then he's like the enemy rival spy group, and then they had a showdown lah, So in the story she's supposed to be a very capable fighter. Okay, I mean she's definitely a capable actress and capable in terms of using her body in the film, right? But actor to actor, right? Because Michael is so much bigger than her, right? When he strikes at her, right, there's a lot of strength she needs to actually resist and to make it look believable.
No,
right?
actually, it's not. It's not that. It's that you underestimate the length of the knife when you block. You don't know because playing weapons.
it wasn't because she didn't block hard enough and
you block too close. The knife you didn't estimate the length of the knife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see.
If you naturally block like that, you don't know. Okay, the knife actually this long, it might hit your eye. You should block it further. Like that. That kind of thing. So weapon is always it's an extra danger element lah in terms of creating movie fight scene. Unless it's soft rubber, then it's still okay. But anything to the face is always.
That also brings to mind something he told me about using real fighters in scenes, like as opposed to actors, right? Because the real fighters, they're used to feeling impact when they hit, right? And that is actually not a good thing on a set, right? Because if someone just lets a guard down and then a punch actually impacts the other actor, right? That's the end of your day, basically, right? So
Actually, real fighting as a fighter and screen fighting is a totally different thing.
How is it different?
Different in terms of real fighting, you go all out, you hit hard and stuff like that. In screen fighting, it's actually a dance. There's rhythm, that's tempo, that is distance as well, because you want to keep each other safe. So when you fight, because you only fight for the camera, you know, there is actually minimal contact. When you hit, is always that's a we call it a pullback lah. That means you don't go out and hit.
Right.
You know, whereas a trained fighter, right? In the very beginning, if you use a trained fighter as an actor or as a talent in the fight scene, they will find it very hard to control power because they're so good, so used to hitting full power.
They strike to hurt lah, basically, right?
So
Whereas,
if you tell them, okay, you need to pull back here, then they do not know how to pull back. If they try to pull back, then it looks very
they look like they are really pulling back.
Yeah, they look like really cool. Then it doesn't sell on screen. It's actually a different body mechanics and body movement when a stunt fighter on screen fighting on screen and a real fighter is a very different thing. But no doubt, of course, the stunt fighter, the real fighter, if he go through a training for like screen fighting, he can adapt to that. But it takes some time. It takes practice as well. Yeah, because a lot of it is just how do you make the greatest impact on screen without hurting each other.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
and then from angle, from your performance. And selling your punch lah. Basically, when you're watching action, you're watching reaction from the other guy as well.
It's true. I mean, the other part, the other side of things also, like some actors, they also cannot really throw a punch also lah. I mean, it looks fake when they try to do it.
Yeah. I mean, if there is a non-trained to make them look convincing on screen, that's another challenge lah. But of course, they need training lah, which in Malaysia is quite lack of lah. Sometimes you don't have time to train talent.
They don't allocate the budget and time to prepare the actors for a fight scene.
So then you result in using double or quick cuts and stuff like that just to mask their performance. That's
kind of like what they have to do to Liam Neeson.
Wow. But Liam Neeson, at least that's what they do to him, but at least he can sell his acting part.
Yes.
I mean,
he prepped to the point where he cannot prep anymore.
To some extent, he comes across like in the Taken series, he comes across as believable that he can actually cause some hurt. Because of his acting.
Exactly. That is very important also, because some actor cannot act in terms of pulling out the conviction when you throw a punch, even though a simple punch.
I mean, like you say, like how they can't sell the punch.
They cannot
sell the tension of the fight,
the
right?
tension. Because it's acting as well. Although it's not a real punch, although your punch is not perfect, but you need the body language and your acting to sell that you are a believable fighter in your character. And also selling reaction. That's also another challenge. A lot of actors, they don't know how to react. You know how to take a head punch, a body punch, that kind of thing. So that one needs training. So that's why Malaysia, there's very minimum budget. They don't have budget to train actor. Not like John Wick. John Wick, they train for 6 months before, that kind of thing. So
any recent action sequences, specifically in the whole area of like hand-to-hand or martial arts and so on, which is most memorable to you from movies and so on?
I would say the Raid lah, part 2.
The Raid lah.
Yeah, the Raid part 2.
Part 2 one not
two.
The part
okay.
One.
Part 1 got its own charm
lah.
Part 1 was
why was it memorable for you?
Number 1, it's the intensity lah. The intensity, the intricacy of the fight, and also for part 2 especially how Jared Edwards, right?
Garrett Evans, right?
Evans, he crafted characters for all these villains. So that makes him very memorable, because he also learned from his mistake in Part 1.
Okay.
So part 2, of course, they got bigger budget also lah. So part 2, the fight even more intense, even more brutal. That was the memorable.
I mean, if you talk about a project that really showcases the craft of on screen, action and fighting, right? That franchise is definitely up there, man.
That's why he's international now. Eco is an international.
Eco Wise, right?
Wise,
shout out to Eco Wise, yo, brother.
I think the other thing I was very curious is that you talk about just before we started rolling this, we talk about pain as well, right? So I think, I'm very interested, especially you talk about like action choreography, whatever not, right? Pain or slash violence in that sense is much believable for certain movies, right? So I'm not too sure specifically what is it that it sells, like why certain movies you watch, right? That is like you really feel pain for that particular character in that sense, right? Versus, for example, let's say like John Wick, right? So like John Wick, I've never really enjoyed John Wick.
Have you watched all three? Okay.
All three. So the first one I watched, I was like, oh, it's like it felt like watching a computer game, lah.
All right.
Right. So to me, it's more of like, okay, that's interesting, but it didn't feel like. It was desensitized for me, like the violence, like okay, die. It's like you watch, then after that, when the second one came out, everyone said it was better than the first one. Then I was like, okay, let's give it a shot again. Then after that, then the third one came out, I was like, maybe the time is a charm. I was like, So I need to understand a little bit, like from a technical perspective, right? Like how come like films like John Wick? I mean, I don't really feel the pain. I mean, certain scenes, yes, but generally you just kind of sit through it. While some films, right, like it's like like it's like you really cringe when you see that person get hurt, even though some scenes don't even actually show the violence itself, it's like the thought of it, right? Would you know why is this so?
Okay, John Wick is a spectacle film lah. It's more like a action film.
Okay.
Where they want to show the more action, the better film is lah. Okay. Basically, it's action film lah. Now, because of the backing of the story and also how they created John Wick's character. John Wick's character is like cannot die, in certain ways.
It's like immortal.
Yeah. I mean, okay, they try to make his character is he feel pain, he bleeds and stuff like that, which is fine, but still is like.
But in the back of your head, he's not going to die.
Yeah, he's going to die. Yeah. So his journey that at the end, he's going to survive lah. Whereas like Korean film, because of the grittiness of the story, they were able to carry through even a simple action scene that can deliver the brutality or the intense pain. For example, I Saw the Devil. You have watched that?
No.
Okay.
This quite new, right?
No. It's a very old film. Very old film. I Saw the Devil, like Old Boy. Like Old Boy, because if you follow his journey, the character of his journey, and then when he fights, then you want to root for him. That kind of thing.
I see. So again, back to the what you said about the character is also very important.
It's extremely important actually. Or else he's just like it's just like you say a computer game lah. You just go out fighting.
If you don't humanize the thing, you won't feel the pain.
You don't feel the pain. So the story of it obviously has to be good.
Right.
Yeah, number one.
And it actually starts before the action starts.
Could be so,
right? So it's actually part of the screenplay if you think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's part of the story, the inception of the story itself.
Like Man from Nowhere. You watch Man from Nowhere? No. Man from Nowhere. It's a Korean film.
Okay.
Lee Byung-hun, right?
No, not Lee Byung-hun. Lee Byung-hun one is Bittersweet Life.
Bittersweet Life.
That one, that's one of my favorite films.
That was cool, man.
Bittersweet Life. It's a very simple film about him working with the Tri, right?
Yeah.
And then he fall in love with the Tri's girlfriend. And then there's some conflict.
Yeah.
And then
spoilers ahead. Showdown.
The showdown. The showdown was brutal lah. I mean, all blood and stuff like that. It's
I suppose, I guess, like the motivation, like you say, is like if you understand the journey of this person, and then when he fights, right, then you also put in your own, the stories you tell yourself,
invested
right?
You invested.
For sure, man.
Okay.
I mean, that's really how media works if you think about it, right? If you watch on the news and every villain is a Muslim, and when they bomb a Muslim country, you don't feel it, that's just how it works, right?
Okay.
So it's like when you can empathize, when you can put yourself in someone else's shoes, right? That's when you can feel the pain,
Interesting.
And because in film you don't feel as an audience you don't feel the physical pain.
Okay.
The only pain you feel is your empathy with the character. You see? So it's really about creating a connection with the audience.
Any young talents wanting to be in this line in Malaysia?
Malaysia. Not that I
Have you
know
come
of.
across?
Lah. Actually, I'm been quite inactive in the local scene already. Lah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'm not shooting much about the commercial
Right.
stuff. And
Well,
stuff
to be
like
fair,
that.
it's not much of a scene.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think there's much of a prospect for too many people lah. You know, there might be one or two who can take the crown for it. But you know, I think you don't bank on this to put your career on in Malaysia at least. You know,
Malaysia at least. Yeah.
So, like for example, if some young people, who wants to go and try out, right, either as passion and so on, either as a stunt person, I mean probably as a stunt person in that sense, and they come to you and they say, hey, can you be my sifu lah, in that sense, like, right? What do you look for in such a person? I mean, as in, what will make you say, yes, I will train you? What kind of personality? I mean, yeah, how would you?
Yeah, of course, you need to have interest
Okay.
on doing it lah.
Okay.
That's number one because that drives your motivation, right? Yeah, I think that's the only key thing lah. And then you need to enthusiast about it lah. I want to know how to do this, how you do that, and then you do your own research on top of that. I mean, basically you need to immerse yourself lah if you want to really learn the art. Because it's not it's an art lah. It's an art form.
Yeah. It's a real art form, right?
It is you need to put your passion into it if you want to do it. Yeah. So,
And it's quite interesting, like for me, right? It's an art form, right, that doesn't have that many degrees of authenticity. That means, right, if you don't do it all the way, right, then it's almost like non-existent. You know what I mean? Because it involves so many things to work together that if you are not passionate enough, right, to put all those things together, right, you have very little to show for it. You know what I mean? Once it falls flat, it's like, okay, like that I was gonna do, right? Everyone will just react that way, right? But it's just one of those things where you have to go all the way, until that 99% level, right? For it to even come across as an art form, that people would care about, So I mean, it's hard. I think I have a lot of respect. I mean, before I shot Hakuitia, I never thought of an action film, right? And after going through that process with Hong, right? To me, I was so fascinated by the craft and the artistry involved, right? That we sat down and did our paint list, like we had this ambition of let's make 100 different scenes in a different, all different combinations of fights and how do we create pain on screen, right?
Right.
And we created this crazy ass list, of weapons, of impacts, of ways to hurt someone, which now I think about it, it's like maybe there was a bit of a purging of our our violent nature.
But action, there's a lot of other aspect as well lah. This is just one particular in terms of your crafting a fight scene, or an action scene. There's also the technical side of it. For example, rigging, wire rigging.
What is wire rigging?
Wire rigging means you rig the flare up the air, fly,
Okay.
or some of them use it for impact, to fly to make the person fly to when
the
he
back
get
to-
him back. Yeah,
okay,
there's
okay.
a pool on the back and flying characters and stuff like that. That's another technical lah. I would say that's more technical aspect of how rigging in terms of safety.
Yeah.
So rigging is also one. Then after that, you got those car stunts. How you do car stunts? How you get hit by a car but by not getting hurt. That kind of thing. Then there's also pyrotechnics. Where you create explosion or create blood squibs. Those kind of things. It all falls under the stunt department lah. So there's various discipline that you can work off lah. Some people is not really into crafting a fight scene or crafting an action scene, so they delve into all this technical aspect lah. They can also learn and they also can apply in the movie industry. But for me, I'm more of a fight guy, or more of crafting or designing the action scene or the fight scene, but particularly for any short film or film.
To me, it's probably in terms of stunt, the stunt world, right? It's probably the bit that I think still, if you do it right, still has that visceral appeal, you know, because there's, you know, it's always involving just humans, and you know, it's just like one against another. It's very, very basic that I think people, you know, can feel a connection to, you know. Whereas to talk about car stunts, pyro, all that, right? Basically, CG has taken over. Because honestly, in this day and age, you don't set your actors on fire anymore. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
But Malaysia still do.
Malaysia still do.
Shout out to
Shout out to.
Okay. No budget ma, package ma.
Yellow. Don't know how to do, right? Don't know how to buy template, right? On video co-pilot to create fire, you know.
Okay.
They actually still burn the actors, you know. That's quite funny.
I think recently was watching some YouTube videos on like this group of stunt people. They are sitting down and then they are like analyzing on certain.
Digital corridor ah.
I think so. Yeah.
The corridor crew.
Yeah, so they were like, you know, they explain like, you know, how it happened. So they were breaking
Shout
down.
out to Sam and Nico.
Mission Impossible.
The bathroom scene.
Right? There are a lot of things which I learned. You know, like for example, like the ground and so on.
It's all
actually soft, padded. And also it's like
Not in Malaysia. Malaysia is still hit it hard.
Malaysia, you try and fall without hurting yourself, okay? That's about all.
I mean, there's just so much
I mean,
to
those
think about, right?
Yeah, that's Hollywood level lah. I mean, because safety is number one there. I mean, it's top priority there, safety. Here is safety also number one, but sometimes safety is carried away lah. Because you press for time, sometimes you don't have enough time to prep. You always have the last hour of the day of the shoot to shoot your fight scene. You can ask 10 stunt guy in Malaysia, it's always that same case. So that's why it's a bit discouraging for our stunt guys here. I very much believe everybody want to do like a Hollywood level or Indonesian food level action. It's just that our industry here does not have the budget or budget went somewhere that they were not able to give the chance to create stuff like that lah. You know, it's always like, you know, you don't have budget or you don't have that control because maybe the director want to control everything or the director don't know anything about action. You know, they want some of this, some of that, some of this. You know, it's not a clear vision. And
to put it simply, there are just not enough professionals in the industry lah. So the industry is not being built by professionals. They're just they are just being filled up by people who want to be in the industry lah. You know, whereas you talk about Hollywood, right? You know, it's part of a big business. You know, right? You know, if you don't play the game to a certain extent, you're not part of it. You know, because there's a reality for them. Right? You know, if I spend this much money, I don't make it back. That's the end of my life. I mean, the end of my career. You know, whereas here it's like, never mind. You know, we copy again. It's let's get some money. You know, let's hang out at Otto Bavaria for a while and see what kind of budget we can pull out from this. You know.
So it's a vicious cycle, you see. So when the industry is like that, the stunt guy, he just treat it as a job.
I see.
You know.
I see.
So most of it treated just a job. I got job, I work. I mean, there's not many stunt guys here that on their free time they go and shoot their own fight scene. They do their own thing. In US there's plenty.
Right.
All those that I know of, they do their own short film. During downtime, they get their stunt buddies together. Okay, let's shoot a short film. I got an idea. Let's test this out. Okay, I bring out a camera. We just shoot. In Malaysia, none.
Right.
Maybe one or two. That's it. The rest all like got job or not.
I see.
Pay or not? Go payment.
Pay or not?
But it's all like you say.
You know?
It's like the whole cycle is like this, right?
Because it's one sec you need to survive, so the passion of it or maybe the craft of it kind of lack. I mean, there's no, they're not pushing it lah in terms of you know, they're not experiment new things or experiment what is trendy these days outside there. Maybe them there themselves don't watch enough action film or dissect action film themselves.
Right.
So
I guess at the end of the day, behind their heads, they're also thinking, you know, I put that much effort into this.
How much did I get paid?
How much can I make out of it? Is it going to go somewhere, right? And if it doesn't go somewhere, they can't do it for long anyway, you know. So I'm
pretty much sure they did try in the very ambitious in the
and
beginning.
they still want to, right? Maybe, they just reality hits.
Reality hits that I got this ambition for this new project. I'm involved. I want to do this, do that. After that, your production meeting, blah blah blah, and they come to shoot. Everything cut into half.
Exactly,
that turns you down already. Then after a few times, you're like,
this is how it's done.
This is how it's done lah. I
yeah.
don't have to put 100% in anymore already. So it's become.
You know, somehow I put 100%, do not get paid or not at the end of the day, right? Sometimes
How big is the community? I mean, in terms of the stunt people in Malaysia?
It's also medium size lah. I mean, there's the Chinese group, there's the Malay group, there's some Indian groups. Yeah.
Okay.
It's sometimes they cross over lah. I mean, those are freelance. They
Okay.
will work. For
but
other
tight lah, I'm
teams.
sure, right? Very tight community. Like you know,
tight.
almost everyone knows each other, and you know,
Yeah,
they probably
almost,
see each other on set a fair bit.
I
You know,
see.
because I don't think there are too many people who would survive on this alone. You know?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and some producers also they want to take advantage of them. They pay them very little. Or they squeeze their price. 150 per day for a stunt guy, man.
Yeah,
for
man.
feature film, who want to do?
150 ringgit, no?
Ringgit, you know.
You can easily do anything. So many things you can do for 150 ringgit a day, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't involve that danger and
Right.
that kind of hard work that gets
Understand.
put into
Correct,
it. You know?
correct. I tell you this story. I went for casting for one film lah. I don't name the film.
Yeah. Never mind. Let's not
This
name it for
during
now.
my early days when after I start YouTube and all that, when I got this I compile like a show reel that kind of thing already. Then there's this casting call on newspaper. I think William found that.
Oh yeah.
Then I asked her, hey, you want to try not? There's this action film shooting in Malaysia. It's a local production.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay lah. I mean, we all like, let's try lah. I
try.
mean, no harm lah. Let's
Yeah,
try
yeah,
lah.
yeah.
Some of the casting we need to pay one, you know.
Huh?
The audition lah. The audition.
Audition, yeah,
for action guy, stunt guy, action.
Really?
Yeah.
Action lah. Action lah.
It's
Or
like
action.
administration fee.
I think like it was held in the hotel. I think we need to pay like 10 or 20 ringgit. Or shit
Okay,
like that.
okay.
So we went and performed, did, and then we were selected lah. Me, Gary, Chun was that, I think. Yeah, William didn't get. So we went for second round of audition. So we met the action director, and then after that, say okay, they want us in lah. And then I got a call later from the production. They want me to play the lead villain for the movie.
Okay.
And then he's offering me only 150 per day.
Lead villain, you know.
Lead villain. That is that time was 2008 or 2009. 2008, yeah. But prior to that, before that, I was like involved in shooting and all that with my previous action director. I know the price. If you give like extra on set, right? I think it was 100 or 70 ringgit, something like that.
Yeah, to be an extra, right?
So you give me like
Yeah,
150
just
ringgit, like you have to fight like hell like that.
Yeah.
Only
For
150.
some perspective, those of you not listening from Malaysia, right? That's about $35 US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a day
not
shoot,
even
you know.
not even $40 US. Yeah.
Yeah, that is like insult, man. So it's like
$35,
forget it, man. Yeah. I'm not gonna work for that kind of price. So a lot of production here take advantage, especially newbies. Because I went for the audition, they thought I got no shooting experience and stuff like that.
Like, imagine how many people paid them to.
Yeah.
Right. You know, that is ridiculous.
Until today, I think
it's like a scam, like if you think about it.
Until
you know?
today, a lot of them still take advantage of all the new guys, right? That they pay you little.
Those hungry to
Yeah,
break
those
in,
hungry to
right?
break
You know,
in,
like
yeah.
the youngsters, right?
Even some action groups, action directors also, they will take advantage of their own stunt guys. Yeah, also that
Okay.
happens too. Yeah.
Any projects or upcoming projects, or at least in your pipeline that you want to do, you want to shoot?
At the moment, no lah. But at the moment, I'm preparing one short film, YouTube short film with James Lee. Another one. Now we're training a female actress.
Okay.
For an action short film lah. Yeah.
Any idea what it's about that you can share? Or any kind of scene or any particular style that you're looking at?
She maybe some Bond style, Bond identity, that kind of thing, with some grappling. We still like monitoring or how to say see how much the actress can do. Yeah, because the actress is not a trained.
It's not. I see.
So that's our challenge.
Okay.
To how to get her up to a level which is convincing.
Usually, how long does it take to get?
Wow. Last time we took with Charlene was I think was 1 month plus.
Yeah,
It was
man.
a lot.
At least
like 3 to
weekly.
4 days.
I think it's
a
like
week.
2 a week, like kind of thing. Yeah, about 2 a week. Because she's also zero martial art background.
I'm curious, like usually, like what kind of training you go through during this 1 month preparation?
A lot from reaction, from your acting, how you throw a punch convincingly, your body language basically, your stance, your posture. Of course, then the other how you take falls, not big falls but some
how
small
not to hurt
falls.
yourself
Yeah,
lah,
not to
you
hurt
know.
yourself.
Okay.
How you go to the ground safely basically. Yeah, those are the things they need to drill them So when they do the action scene, they know how to be safe. And also distancing between the performers. Sometimes you cannot gauge the distance, you might hit each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like dance lah. You need to get, you need to train with your partner. You know, you get the rhythm right, you get your distance, your timing, that kind of thing. So actually, there's a lot of work. Right? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work from people who never throw a punch to people to make them to look convincing. Then on our side, me and James have to figure out how do we shoot. You know, because she only can do so much. How do we shoot? How do we make it interesting? How do we make her look convincing on screen? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not easy.
What kind of camera to use, right? How you want to shoot it. Yeah.
In the real industry, I mean, most of it is just on set Okay, they will just shoot for coverage and then they will just chop it up on post and then it look like a montage fight.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So that's an industry here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, how about dream projects, man?
Dream projects.
What would be something that would be awesome to work on, man?
Bloodland 2 lah. 5分钟.
Okay. So because we brought that up, right, I'm going to put a link to that film.
Yeah.
It was a film that Hong and I made also in 2012. In this abandoned bungalow. Well, not abandoned it was about to be torn down and renovated.
Yeah.
So before it got torn down, we asked for permission and we went in and we shot this film in one day. We had 2 of, I think at the time and probably still are 2 of the best wushu artists in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And
They're also
2 of the
stunt
best-
guys,
and also experienced stunt guys.
Very experienced.
So it was, to me, I think, hands down, not blowing our own horns, but hands down, I think the best action scene ever shot in Malaysia still. Done in one day with amazing talents.
Not 1 day 2 days.
2 days, yeah. 2 days, yeah. 2 days. 1 weekend in 1 weekend. No, 2 weekends.
2 weekends.
Yeah, we shot 1 day. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, 2 days, and yeah, man, talk about, establishing pain and connection to the character and then, killing them all off. Yeah, that was the one, man.
Okay.
So links in the description below and, tell us how you guys like it.
So in closing, coming to an end, were there any new insights or takeaways from this session?
I think you got to be passionate about what you're doing if you want to involve yourself in any other arts. Yeah, because your passion and then you need also to practice a lot for you to develop your craft. It is a craft that you need to sharpen if you really want to make a good product. Yeah, that's all I can say.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. Seems to be the pattern of lessons that we
Yeah,
tend to get. There's
If you can
always-
be obsessive, will be better.
So are you considered as obsessive level?
No lah,
look around.
I semi lah. I mean, I used to be. I used to be obsessed of learning all this.
Common theme of obsession, right?
Obsession,
Obsession.
Okay, this is fast becoming the OCD podcast. Everyone we interview is someone OCD about something,
it is.
So okay, cool.
Thanks again. I think
Thank you.
for me, I think personally what I learned is sometimes it's like I watch certain films, like it's like wow, you keep playing in your head like so interesting this particular action scenes whatever. No, but what I learned from you today is the very fact that the action starts even before the action starts, right? I mean the character, the tension, the motivations, and so on. So when the action really happens, right, it is much more believable as opposed to like, here, take a gun and shoot something, right? And I think that it's something which I definitely learned, and also the very fact that I really admire you for the weekends and the weekdays of like, like, okay, let's study this, and then let's put up a camera, let's try this out, and then after that, then load it up, and not only that, but to be open to receive feedback as well, to say, okay, how to get this improved and stuff. Then you keep on improving that craft. I think that is something which is not only applicable to this genre itself, but to any other things, right? I mean, to just keep on putting yourself out there, and then get literally punched in the face, by what people say, and then you can get back to the drawing board again, and then redo again, and so on. I think that's a very,
that's how you learn.
That's a great experience.
That's how you get good at anything, right?
Thank you, thanks again. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you for
this.
having me.
Thanks
Right.
again.
All right. In closing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just want to chime in that, talking to Hong now, we don't hang out as much as we used to, but I'm reminded of how much I enjoyed the process of making those Kung Fu films, like until today, sometimes when I go to a workshop or something, right, and I get introduced and people still say, oh, I know Adrian from his Kung Fu films, and I'm actually not particularly a Kung Fu film person, but because this genre, because of Hong and the team, it's just a genre that I tended to do, back then, for my own passion projects, right? Okay. And they were so much fun, and it's hard work for sure. It was long ass physical hard work, and then after that it's just a long ass process of editing and putting stuff together, right? But it is something that you can feel the satisfaction of doing a job well done at the end of the day, like to see it come together, and it might just be 30 seconds, honestly, right? Most of the fight scenes we do are all under a minute long, right? Some of them, you extend maybe 2-3 minutes maximum, right? I mean, Hong will always choreograph a scene that will last like maybe 7 minutes long, and then when you end up shooting, because there are only 24 hours in a day, right? You probably shoot like, less than half of it, But, I mean, because he's done all that work, right? He's so good at being able to make it concise and kind of like edit it down on the shoot itself, and still make it work, and that is the kind of level of craft that you're talking about, right? You know it so well that it's like the back of your hand, right? That when it comes to having to adapt to a situation, because you always have to adapt to a situation. In reality, there's always a reality to deal with, right? When you're not good enough, when reality comes, right, it throws you off, you get derailed, That's how a lot of, crafts fail,
Right.
But when you reach a point where, you have the skill to take on any kind of derailment, right, then you have that thing under your belt, and that's what Hong has, and that's what I learned from those Kung Fu films, making those, and it's helped my filmmaking career in ways, that I never expected to, but it did, so.
Alright, thank you for tuning in today to this episode where we have Hong. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you had fun, man.
So we are available in all major podcast platform, Apple. We are in Spotify as well. We just went to Spotify. We are also in Stitcher, and of course on YouTube for just the larger coverage. So the usual, subscribe if you like it. Don't like it, then don't like it.
Don't subscribe. But listen to the next one anyway.
Alright, so thanks again.
Yep. Bye.